Okay, this is a quick, I guess, explanation of what I messed up on in terms of our homework. If you notice, this Khan Academy assignment didn't match up very well with the units that we do with the packet. So I want to quickly go over one of these problems or two of them, and that way, if you're interested, you still get some of this instruction, and you could fix this assignment if you want. Like I said, you guys know you only have to do 50% of the homework, so if you don't end up doing this one, it's not the end of the world. But you will do problems like this moving forward in trigonometry, especially in Algebra 2 and in pre-calc moving forward. So I'm going to have to switch over to the document camera here, but let me try to redraw this circle real quick. Okay, so what you've got is a central angle here. You've got a sector of a circle, and it gives us the area of that sector. All right. So what we do is kind of like what we did with Aristophanes earlier in the year when we calculated the circumference of the Earth. Only now we're doing area, not length. What we do is we do 60, the small angle, divided by the total angle, equals the small area, which is the area of the sector, divided by the total area, which is pi r squared. So I've labeled these things here for you, how to set up this proportion. And like I said, before we did this with Aristophanes. It was like 7 to 360 equals, and this was small arc, and then this was total circumference. So it was a similar proportion. We were just doing it with arc length instead of area. But all you guys have to do is solve this now, and you're solving for this quantity. You don't have to solve for the radius. You're just asked to find the area of that circle, which is this whole value right here. So, make a fraction out of this. 1/6 equals 3/2 pi over x, and cross multiply. So you're going to have 3/2 times 3/2 pi times 6 when you cross multiply. And 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9, so you end up with 9 pi as your answer. And we can enter that in, see if that works here. But you should be able to enter in 9 pi. Well, I couldn't enter it in, but here it is, 9 pi. All right, so I hope that helps. Basically, all the problems are going to be the same in terms of you're going to set up this proportion here, where you have small angle to total angle equals small area to total area. The only other thing you might need to know is what a radian is, because sometimes in the next few problems, we'll be finding a different one. Like this one, it doesn't look like anybody got. So I'll quickly do this one if you're interested. So I've got it here. But basically now the angle is 11 over 6 pi, and the radius is 6. They give us the radius is 6. I know they gave it to you here, but either way. Radius is 6. The central angle, theta, is 11 over 6 pi. And we're asked to find the area of the sector. Now the area of the sector is actually the big area of the sector right there. So we're going to do the same thing we've been doing, right? Small angle, which small angle is actually 11 pi over 6. Over total angle 2 pi equals small area, which is area of the sector, which is what we're looking for, over total area. All right, so this is small angle, and this is total angle, and this is, like I said, small area or area of the sector over total area, and this is the area of the circle. So exactly like what we did before. The only difference is now, we're looking for the area of the sector. We can find the total area of the circle using pi r squared. And the other difference is these angles. Okay, you're probably not used to radians. All right, so that's something that I shouldn't put this question in there because you're really not ready for it yet, necessarily, because we didn't teach you radians. But basically, it's not that complicated. I know you guys are used to 0 degrees, 180 degrees, and then 360 degrees when you go around a circle, right? So you start here, you go around halfway, that's 180. You go around a whole way, that's 360. Well, with radians, it's just a different unit of measure, kind of like feet and inches or feet and meters. We have a different unit of measurement in radians, where if you go around halfway, that's pi radians, and if you go around a full circle, that's 2 pi radians. So you're going to need to get used to radians for next year in Algebra 2. You're going to have a lot of angles that have pi in them that look weird, but they're just radians. Okay, so 2 pi is the total circle. And 11 pi over 6 is most of a circle. All right, it's almost 2, right? It's 1.83 repeating pi. So it's almost 2 pi. It's over here, and basically it's most of a circle. All right, so when you fill this out and solve it, you're going to have 11/6 pi over 2 pi equals what you're looking for. Area of the sector is what they asked for. I'll call that x. And the total area of the circle is pi r squared, so pi 6 squared. All right, so let's cancel some things. These pi's cancel. Dividing by 2 is the same as multiplying by 1/2, so we'll multiply by 1/2 instead. And we'll call this 36 pi. And then this turns into 11/12 equals x over 36 pi. And you get hard to see that probably. So now we cross multiply. 11 times 36 pi equals 12 times x. Divide both sides by 12. And 12 goes into 36 3 times, so you end up with 33 pi as your answer for the area of the sector. And it didn't give you any units, but 36 pi is what we're looking for there. So I know that was tricky, probably because, of this new angle measure we're using here for radians. But it's the same proportion that we've been using for this homework assignment for area of a sector. And we've been dealing with proportions all year long, and they're very important. They have a ton of application. So hopefully this helps with that homework. But if you didn't get it done or you didn't get it right, it's not the end of the world. Don't feel like you have to go back and fix it, as long as you have more than half the homework done. If you do want to go back and fix it, feel free. And if you have any other questions, email me. I can always make little videos like this or do the whole Zoom meeting thing. So hope you guys are doing